Okay, so today we're going to be reading part 3 of The Forgotten Girl. We're still on chapter 1 though. They're long chapters and very short videos. And I hope you remember the warning. Here it goes. Do not watch this video if you have nightmares or if you get scared easily. All right, let's get to reading. I'll reread the last sentence that we left off with. Then I'll move on to the new one. There were no more flowers or leaves this time of year, just a wide blanket of snow getting thicker by the second, and the prickly branches of the trees curling toward the sky with fingers covered in frosting, sparkling in the night. So here we go. The trees arched over Iris and Daniel as they were looking down, watching them. Once they got to the clearing, they made the biggest snowballs and threw them at each other, giggling but covering their faces with their hands and scarves so no one could hear them. Covered in snow and out of breath, they dropped down to make snow angels in every inch of clear snow. They made so many, not even one was, I do not know that word, but if you do, I'm going to spell it out. DISTING UISHABLE. Anymore. Iris stood up and looked at her work. The ground was covered with heads and hands and footprints from their angels. She imagined that they belonged to someone other than her and Daniel, that they were signs of invisible people following them around. She shook the thought out of her head. You can't even see the angels anymore, Iris frowned. She looked around for a fresh patch of snow, deeper in the woods. She could see a smaller clearing in between the tree trunks before the woods turned thicker and pitch black. She squinted, trying to see past the little clearing, but her eyes wouldn't even adjust. The snow fell silently around her, touching her nose, her gloves, the moonlight, her nose, her gloves. The moonlight darkened a bit. The darkness was an odd shade of pink. Iris knew that I don't even know if that's the right word, but I'm going to spell it. So if you know. STRAIGHT. I'm going to say it straight, but I don't know. Iris knew that straight through the woods was her school, but she'd never bothered to test out the shortcut. Their parents warned them not to go into the woods by themselves, and Saja warned them twice as much about the spirits of the snow, how they preyed on children who wandered out in the snowy darkness alone. But in that little clearing, there was a fresh, untouched blanket of snow, calling her further into the woods. Just before that impenetrable wall of darkness. It was too dark. The branches looked like spiders, waiting to pull her into the darkness and swallow her whole. Like in one of the nightmares she had last week. She shook her head again. She was not afraid of the dark, and she didn't want to pass up the chance to keep playing. She pointed a purple gloved finger deeper into the woods. Let's go over there. Daniel cleared his throat. Iris, we can't go there. We shouldn't even be out here. She rolled her eyes. It'll just be for a second, I promise, she added when he frowned at her. Please, come on. He nodded slowly. Iris pulled him further past the edge of the big clearing. Through the next line of trees to the smaller one. The darkness seemed so solid as it surrounded them. It felt like they were in a cave. All around her, Iris could only see the trees, as if they'd entered another world. The trees seemed to stand in, I don't know that word, so I'm just going to spell it so if y'all know it. Anticipation. Under the blanket of black snowy sky. Watching, waiting, so still as the snow touched the branches. She shivered, probably because of the cold. She lay down slowly, the cold pressing closer against her back. Then it had before. She moved her arms and legs, making the snow angel, ignoring a strange feeling that she was slowly sinking into the snow. Daniel reached out his hand and pulled her up. Iris shook the feeling off and smiled. She was proud of her work. I've never made a snow angel this good. She looked at Daniel to agree, but he was leaning over, frowning at her angel. I want to laugh so bad. You know it's going to happen, right? Angel. What's that? Sorry. What's that? He asked, pointing. Look. Okay. Our time's up. I'm sorry. Come back for part 4 to see what he saw. My heart is racing, and you know what he's gonna see, right? He's gonna see the forgotten girl. Oh man, I spoiled it for you. But come back anyway. Bye, see you later.